What's up, e-bikers? What's old is new again. I almost bought this e-bike back in 2021. It's the Be Cool Adventurer. It's next on the channel. Let's go. All right, so yeah, I almost bought this e-bike back in 2021. I was looking to upgrade my electric XP 1.0 to something that would go longer and farther and take me on the trails. That was a hardtail. And I was looking at the Be Cool Adventurer, and lo and behold, here it is about 4 years later, showing up at my doorstep. So thanks a lot to Be Cool for sending it out for review. They must have a ton of these still in inventory because the one I got, I think it was sitting in a warehouse somewhere because it collected dust. There was a lot of dust on the bike when I got it. And even one of the bolts up here on the stem is kind of rusted. So it's probably a little bit older model that you're looking at here. And some of the components are definitely older, and I'll walk you through those later. But this is a great value. It comes in at $12.99, so it's on sale, or it's reduced to $12.99 right now. Comes in gray, green, blue, black, and this camo color. My first camo colored e-bike. So that's why I chose this one. 26x4 tires, of course, 48 volt, 21 amp hour battery there on the down tube. And let's get into the specs. I'll tell you more about what the Adventurer has to offer. Here is that 750 watt motor back here, 90 newton meters of torque, and it peaks at 1100 watts. So there you go. You can see the kind of the dust on there. That it came with. So even though it's boxed up in a warehouse, it still collects dust. Trust me. Let's take a look at the battery here. We've got a 48 volt, 21 amp hour system. And let's pop out the key here, take it out. Just slides right out like that. And it's a big battery. It's pretty heavy. I don't see any UL stickers on it, although it says on the website it's UL listed, but I haven't seen any of those stickers yet, so just be aware of that. Pops back in, pull the key out, and you're good to go. It's like this is the on and off button for the battery, and here's where you charge it, right there. There is a power indicator up top here as well. Just because it's an older model doesn't mean it's not a good value. So it's got a Shimano turning derailleur down there. This frame is a pretty ubiquitous frame I've seen before. It's kind of skinny up on top here. The display is LCD. It's color, but it's fairly basic as well. It's got really short handlebars, so I'm not sure what the length is, but it's more scooter-like in terms of the width of those. You can see the seat there. The rack is pretty thin. So back in the day, like, you know, these are what the e-bikes were being made with, right? These are sort of the common frames they were using and stuff. Even the linkage here on the suspension is a little bit thinner now. Now you're seeing a lot more thicker whirling suspensions up here. But again, it doesn't really matter. It still works great, and still got plenty of life in it. Let's talk about suspension. You got a rear front fork up here with lockout and preload. Just one lockout, no clicks or anything. I think it's a spring coil suspension system there. And here's a look at that rear shock with that Horst 4 linkage here, with a K-speed shock on here. It doesn't look like it's adjustable at all. It's called a mature ADR Horst linkage rear suspension, 4-sided polygonal frame structure there, and it has some decent travel to it so far in my test. So let me sit in the bike and I'll give you a sense of more what that feels like. First of all, let's look at that front fork. Good 2 to 3 inches of travel on there. If I sit in the bike, I weigh 180, so I'm not going to put too much pressure on that thing, but I think you can see how much the travel goes. Here's a look at those front tires. These are Chow Yang 90 tires here, 26x4 of course, 180 millimeter rotor, brake rotor here. No brand hydraulic disc brakes, and we do have a quick release front axle here. Cadence sensor e-bike, of course, with 7 speeds, twist throttle, decent sized chainring down here. It's a good, probably a 48 or 52. And the Shimano turning derailleur down here, along with a freewheel, Shimano freewheel up here. This is a MFTZ 500-7. Here's a look at that rear rack back here. It's fairly kind of skinny in terms of just the rack pieces here. I put it on myself. And I also had to install the brake light was on it. I had to plug it in and wire the zip ties down there to plug it in. The controller's in here. I think it rattles a bit when I'm riding. It's my one complaint so far is the rattling of this. So there are screws on the back of this. I think if I take it off and just throw some kind of padding in there, it should take care of the bouncing. Here's a look at that short cockpit system. Pretty, pretty scooter-like handles here. Pretty nice faux grips here. You got turn signals on the bike plus a horn, and there's your control pad, your display screen, and your right side with that twist throttle. Here's a look at that front headlight. It's pretty small, pretty basic. And you do have a working tail light and brake light, as you can see there. And I'm going to throw the directionals on. There's your left one. Here's your right one. Here's a look at the profile of the bike. Let's get her on the road and see what she's like on the trails and on the streets. Coming up. Alright, we're on the Be Cool Adventure. We're going to do our off-road test first before we hit the streets with it. I'm going to my local woods here. And you're going to hear a lot of rattling with that controller back there. So be prepared. You can hear it, and there it goes. You definitely need some security in that housing there. But this e-bike it's kind of fun. It's like a classic car of e-bikes because they were selling this bike like 4 years ago, and it's basically unchanged since they came out with this thing. So it's a little dated in that respect, but for $12.99, it's a pretty good value overall. I can say that. Let's rip up the hill here. Climbing into these, you can hear that motor back there. I think I got a stick in the spokes. Let me pull over here. That stick out. Where'd that stick go? It looks like it came out. Okay. The seat moves a little bit. Let me lower it. I spooked some deer when I was in here earlier. Got a little jump here. Oh yeah. Not that big jump. Got another jump right here. Eesh. Another one. And another one. Eesh. Oh yeah. Nice. Boy, that controller is really bouncing around. Clunk, clunk. Ugh, a lot of roots. Nice. Alright, mosquitoes in here are pretty big, so let's get the flock out of here. Okay, let's do a top speed run first and we'll check out the PS levels. I'm in PS5, I'm in gear 7. 90 newton meters of torque, 750 watt, should peak at 1100 watts, so there we go. It says we're already at 30. Looks like it maxes out about there. 30.8. I'll have to get the speedometer out. Alright, let's try PS1 here. Oh god, it's almost no power at all. PS2, there we go. Doesn't really kick into here. 8.5, 8.8 miles an hour. PS3, we got 15, 16, and PS4. Now we're bumped up to 21, and finally PS5. There we go. Top speed, 28. Gets up there pretty quick, no problems at all. Although we'll check it on the next one here with my GPS app. Got the GPS app out. And let's give this a shot. It's a little bit off. Bike to the GPS. Definitely a couple miles an hour. Actually about 4 miles an hour. Bike says 30.8. Now the app says 27. There's 28 on the app. Alright, hill test time. Here we go. Throttle only to start. Boom, boom, boom. Moving. Hold it steady at 10 and starting to gain speed here as we go out. I'm going to start pedaling here. It's definitely helping. Getting cadence sensor e-bike, so as we approach the steeper part of the hill, 10% grade, it shouldn't go below 10 miles an hour, so 750 watt. So we should stay in double digits as far as that minimum speed goes. Alright, this for sale signs where it gets steeper. Drop the gears down a bit. PS5, I got 4 bars on the battery. There's 12, 11. Yeah, 10.5, working it a little bit, 10.3, I think it's going to crest at 10.1, which might be a tad slower according to the GPS, but we'll give them the benefit of the doubt there. Let's see how it does on the 15% grade, a really steep hill on throttle only. I'll get a little bit of a running start here. Let me tap the brakes, so we're doing 10 miles an hour, so here we go. Can it make it? It's really slow in 5, 4, wow, 3. I don't think it's gonna make it. It did. 3.4, 3.9. It's climbing. Right, it barely made it. And the next battery's blinking. Wow, that's the slowest I've ever gone up that hill that actually accomplished the task. Not funny. Let's test our brakes down here. We'll test the brakes twice. Once here, once on the other downhill. Now we're doing 22 miles an hour. Very grippy. These are no-name brakes, but they're definitely very grippy. They look like Logan's. The texture is even almost. Not quite sure. All right, let's coast downhill with no power and see what happens. It's pretty steady. The ergonomics, I'm a little bit lean forward on this thing because of the handlebars. They kind of punch out. They're not very high. So keep that in mind. Seat's kind of comfortable. Got dual suspension, so it should be. All right, 28. Nice. Nice. Leaning into the curves here. It's 32. Got the brakes. All right. Let's hit those brakes. Nice, slow, responsive stop there. Nice job. Be cool. Okay, let's about likes and dislikes for the Be Cool Adventurer. So I think 3 things I don't like about the bike. First of all, that rattling down here. needs to be fixed. I'm going to ride this bike regularly. Secondly, the ergonomics, you know, with that seat and that stem that comes out, I'm a little bit hunched over. I don't like that feel. And also the short stem here, the short handlebars. These are very much scooter width. So when I first got on the bike, it was kind of jarring. My hands are like too close together. So it definitely needs a new handlebar system on here. And I would get one with like a 3-inch upsweep on it to make the ride more comfortable, and I would also bring the stem back and get a shorter stem on this e-bike. So those are the kind of the main negatives overall about the bike. And then also it's an older technology. It's a 2021 design, but it's a good value. That's the first good thing about it, is the value. $12.99, you get a dual suspension, 40 volt, 21 amp hour battery. And you get camo color, other colors as well. 26x4 tires, pretty good shocks overall. No complaints about it. 180, and the bumps it smooths it out, and no complaints in that department. Good power. Comes on a little bit, not very torquey overall, but you also get turn signals with this thing. Here's the display. You have watts as well. It shows on the display. So this display is kind of old looking as well. You got your battery up here, odometer, trip, and that's it basically. Trip and odometer. There's no other functions on here as well. So PS, there's your light, and that kind of stuff. So you know, it's pretty basic technology. But again, for the money, it's not a bad value out there. I kind of like the looks. And again, $12.99 on the ebike website. I'll throw a link in the description there. Those are my likes and dislikes. So my job is to tell you what I like and I don't like about each bike I get. Hopefully that comes through in my videos, guys. So appreciate you watching, and check out the next crisscross video. Be sure to subscribe and check out Be Cool for other bikes that they may have this month. I'm out.